Coming up, we take the A380 on our first long haul. Sit back, subscribe, and get ready for some absolutely epic arrival views. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, welcome back, hello everybody. It is another full flight in the FlyByWire A380. Got a long haul one this time, a proper flight. We are in the British Airways A380 and we're going to be taking it from London Heathrow over to Los Angeles. So fairly standard flight, I suppose. A lot of commuters, business people on this kind of flight. We've got the kind of dirty A380 British Airways livery. It's maybe a bit too consistent with how the dirt looks, but you know me, I like it when a plane looks like it's been a bit used. Sometimes in the sim they're always a bit kind of too fresh looking, but yeah, so it's not too bad. For one of the first kind of liveries, obviously I'm still recording this on the day the A380 has released, so there isn't many liveries and some of them are leaving a little bit to be desired at the moment until we get some of the great people that make liveries on Flight Sim TO making some more. But yeah, in the A380, fly-by-wire, absolutely amazing as always, and I cannot wait to take this over to Los Angeles to see how it gets on. We've got all of the wing views set up as always, and yeah, we'll just ignore the fact that jetway is kind of in the way, and we will jump into the flight deck and get this show on the road. So we can put all of the batteries on. We could put all of the external power on. You can hear all those lovely noises that the aircraft makes. We can align the IRSs or ADIRs. We can put the crew supply on. We will put all of the fuel tanks on. Again, as you can see, there's just a few of them. Nearly there. Okay, that's all the fuel tanks on. Coming down further, this can all be left as it is. Nav light can come on. The emergency exit lights can be armed. We can put the signs to auto at the moment. I will fire them on later on. I have no idea what this button does, but we're going to put it on anyway. And yeah, that will probably do us for now. If we jump outside, we can see the aircraft has got some light. Just about. Now, I'm hoping for some decent frames and goodness. So far, so good compared to my first flight. I've done some kind of tweaking. There's also been an update for the aircraft already since the first video film, so I don't actually know what was in it. Don't know if it's got any fixes for anything in it. But we're going to roll with it. So far, nice and smooth. I've still got the traffic turned off at the moment because I know it'll eat away at the very limited VRAM that we have. I say limited, but obviously on a 4090 with the 24 gigabytes of VRAM. However, that is not enough for 4K Flight Sim anymore, and I cannot wait for the 5090 for that very reason. So yeah, just when we're using a new aircraft that I know was struggling, we're going to keep the traffic off just to try and avoid eating into the VRAM too much, because we don't really want it to be using the system RAM, because that is what causes the performance issues. Anyway, a bit technical. Back into the flight deck. First thing I'm going to do is import the SimBrief data. So we should have our flight plan. There we go. So we'll be travelling from London Heathrow to Los Angeles. We've got Active Sky running for the weather at the moment, which I'm just going to get up in the background so I can have a look at it there as well. So yeah, 1025 is the pressure here at London Heathrow, and it's a nice mild 13 degrees Celsius. So in terms of fuel and payload, what I'm going to do is get the SimBrief flight plan open just so I can see what it is saying. So for zero fuel weight, we are estimating 338.2, so that's what we should have. That is what we have. I don't know if we need to load it. I think that will technically already be on. In terms of fuel, we are looking for 154.2 tons, which looks like it is on. So 33.8, so I think that's us all boarded as well. What I'm going to do is just ask GSX to board as well. Request boarding. There we go. So down to the FMSs. You can go to the init page. So we can put the flight number in. We are Speedbird 7 Delta today. And we are going from Echo Golf Lima Lima to Kilo Lima Alpha X-Ray. We can company flight plan request. I think that's all it needs to grab it through for us. I'm not going to board the crew. I'll have a look at the doors in just a wee second. So I think it'll just take a little moment just because of the received flight plan. So I click that and then we go insert, just like that. Okay, since GSX continues to shout at us, ground doors. Okay, so it wants the cargo doors.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Okay. Now, that is the back door opening. Yeah, that's both the cargo doors opening. That's fine. Nice and slowly, just like the real thing. This aircraft, I cannot believe this thing is free. Like, I think that is what people don't eat. Like, people are forget. Like, I would happily pay the kind of money that PMDG and Phoenix and all of that would be wanting for an aircraft of this quality, and some probably just with the kind of quality that you're getting. It's crazy. The lag at the moment, I'm going to assume, is the GSX passengers getting on the plane. It most likely will be. Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah, I am rambling. You know me, I like a good ramble on the channel. So back down to the FMSC. So obviously we've got the flight plan. It's come in from the company. You can see the IRSs are aligning, so about 5 minutes for them. That's absolutely fine. So for our departure, I don't like really doing it this way. I like to go to the route and do it, just because that's how I feel like I've usually done it. So we can put the departure in. We are departing from, just let me double check, 27 right. So runway 27 right, and it's on the Compton 3 Foxtrot departure. There it's there. We can go to temporary flight plan and insert. That should be fine. We can put the arrival in, why not? It might change, but I'll do it anyway because it's obviously guessing. It's estimating it based on what it thinks the weather will be at the time. So it's estimated at the moment 24 right. That'll be ILS 24 right. And is it this one? I have no idea what this actually stands for, but I'm going to stick it in anyway. That's fine. We can insert that. Now, I don't know, if I remember rightly, I'm sure I read that technically you can go to plan before the IRSs are aligned. Yeah, I thought that was the case. So we can scroll all the way through this. I just want to go down it to, or over to the arrival, where I thought there would probably be a discontinuity because I haven't put a transition in. It would probably be ATC vectors is my guess here. Let's delete the discontinuity there. We can insert it there. We'll delete the discontinuity here. It's got us going straight in. That's actually not as bad as I thought it might look. Yeah, I mean, as I say, in real life, you're probably going to be getting vectors into LAX. That's probably not even a question. But that's fine. Just back to the init page, so that's done. Navaids, I have no idea what to put there, so we're just leaving it. Fuel and performance. So zero fuel weight, as we said, was 338.2, 338.2. Our block fuel is 154.2. Our ZFWCG I worked out in the last video that I can in fact get from here. It is 35.47. So that's 35.47. Just like that. So next we can go to the takeoff performance. So that's where I'm going to use SimBrief on my other screen. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can because I know you can't see it. Basically SimBrief's got its own takeoff performance thing. There isn't a built-in one into the tablet at the moment. So it's 27 right, it is, that's fine. Populate the weather. We can go flex and calculate. So it says we are flexing to 55 degrees Celsius. There we go. It says our V1 is 142, VR is 156, and V2 163. There we go. Now I think I worked out in the previous video that we're looking for this number to be entered here. So we're going to put 40 in, because that's what it says. Is basically how we're rolling with it, and we can edit, change the trim once we are got the hydraulics and everything on. So packs on, anti-ice off, that's fine. So that's the performance page done. The init page is done. Performance is obviously, I've just literally just said that. Just want to double check the flight plan again. Now I've got step climbs in on the flight plan which aren't coming up on this, so I'm going to try and put them in myself if I can. So forgive me while I check the other screen and see which points we're step climbing. So at Savory we are going to 360. Yeah. Step climb. Right, okay. You cannot, I think that might be a limitation of the version of the aircraft actually, as it cannot step climb. Is my guess when it says not implemented. So we're just going to leave it at 340. Hopefully fuel wise that should still be plenty. I'm just curious what it says. If I go down all the way to, just forgive me a little moment, what it reckons. Now, how do I do this? Oh, yeah, it reckons we're going to have 34 tonnes of fuel left at LAX even as we are, so that's absolutely fine. That's what I just wanted to check. Yeah, so I think GSX just announced to us that it's finished boarding. Great feature here as well. I don't know if this screen down here does anything at the moment. I don't think it does. Anyway, so with GSX finished boarding, we're going to get the APU started up so we can put the master switch on, and then the start switch can come on. I'm going to fire the seatbelt signs on. Oh, sorry, lag. It's very laggy when you switch through the views. Sometimes it's just the VRAM issue, as you can see. That's me now. This is the issue that I keep hitting. As you can see, this crazy stuttering. I think that is when it's running out of VRAM. As I say, the only way I've found to be able to fix this is to change a setting, any setting, up or down. It must clear the cache. And welcome back. So yes, I can confirm we did in fact just crash. So I've just had to restart everything and try and get us back to where we were. I know the aircraft's obviously an alpha and it's not so much the aircraft's fault, but it's a little bit, or at least for me, I could be doing something wrong, I could have a setting wrong. But my out of the box experience so far is it's been a little bit temperamental on the performance side. Now look, I know I run the game in 4K, I run it in DirectX 12 beta mode with frame generation on, all of these things which probably add an element of difficulty to it all. I tried running it at 1440p earlier. It did not fix the issue of that lag that happened as you've seen just before the game crashed. The only way I had previously found to get it to stop doing that jittery stuttering thing was to change a setting and apply it, and then that would kind of, I don't know if it clears the cache on the VRAM or what, I don't know. I've never had it crash when I do that like I just did, so it may have been a totally separate issue that was the issue there. It's a shame because it actually runs fine. It's not like overly laggy, it's probably on par with the Phoenix is how I describe it. But oh man, it is burning through VRAM like nothing else. I can only assume that most of the issues here are down to VRAM. I've tried to turn some more settings down. I'm well aware that if I turn the settings down much further that it's not really going to be worth running the game in 4K, if you get what I mean, because it's going to mean it looks terrible, except it's going to look terrible but nice and sharp. But yeah, it's I considered obviously turning it down to 1440p, but as I say, it's not actually fixing the issues, so I don't see the point. Anyway, I am rambling. We can get some other things set up that we hadn't already set up previously. So as I had mentioned, the wind at the moment, the pressure at the moment at Heathrow is 1025, which we can set here. These are matched, then we can set it on the standby as well. That's set. 163 is V2, I've just put that in. The runway heading, I actually don't have that up, for 27 right, is 269. So using my handy dandy throttle quadrant, we can attempt to put that to 269. Although it's nice and slow, it's actually weird. It's like the slower I do it, the better, the quicker it moves. It's still not great though. Jeez. Sometime today would be good. I know I realise I could have went the other way, it would have been quicker, but oh well. Yeah, that is slow as. Come on. There it is, 269. Initial altitude, we can just, I'll put 190, why not? Flight directors armed. Once the IRSs are aligned, which is in 1 minute, it should be good to go. I will ask GSX to prepare to push us back. I haven't bothered getting it to get us bolding or anything. I'm not even going to attempt to add to any VRAM issues that we already have. I don't have it open. I don't have the what's the word? The statistics up here. I'm just looking off of Task Manager at the moment. It's saying it's using 22.1 gigs at the moment. It's probably more than that in reality. I think once it gets up there, it starts. I think that's when it may start sharing it with system RAM, but I'm not that technically inclined to be 100%. So I'm going to try and be really careful with how I do views, which is going to mean unfortunately I'm not going to go to wing views that often, or going to try not to. It's kind of force of habit as well, but I'm going to try not to so that we don't have the sim crash on us again.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Now zooming in should bring up the, there we go, that's what I was hoping for. Just want to check the parking brake is on, which it is. We can go down to squawk and we can put 7,000 in, again not in VATSIM. What we can also do is go to surveillance, I believe this is. We can put it on auto. I'll put TARA on just now because I'll forget if I don't. And we'll go back to FMS. We'll go to the flight plan page for now. Don't know if it's not going to let me do RTO yet, which is fine. I'm going to try and stick to this view whenever I move. So we want to be facing north.
Release parking brakes, please.
So we can, yep, release the parking brakes. We can put the beacon light on, the seatbelt signs etc. are already on. We can put the engine start switch to start. Confirm the beacon is on. I believe there's also checklists in this. Can't entirely remember exactly how you get to them. I'm not that bothered overly. As long as we can get the aircraft from A to B, I'll be quite happy. So, with the engine start on, we can put 4 and 3 on, and let's give it a little listen, shall we? That looks like we've got a decent start on engine 3 and 4. So with that, we can go engine 2 and engine 1. I'm not going to go to the other side of the aircraft again for the fear of the VRAM issue. So yeah, I can confirm that the GPU is using 21 gigabytes of its own memory, but the total GPU memory, as in the shared memory, at the moment is 24.3, which means it's using about 3 gigs of system RAM at the moment. So yeah, this sim is definitely an interesting one to get running these days, and I'm hoping, I don't think the VRAM issues will go away in 2024. If anything, they'll just address the CPU main thread bottleneck. But one thing I can be for sure on is that the bottleneck right now in my sim is the GPU and its VRAM. Anyway, I'm going to stop going on about it because I've went on about it for about 17 hours. We'll just wait for engine 1 and 2 to finish starting up. Which they have, we've got available. So we have 4 good engines. So with that, APU can come off. Edges start switch to normal. Nose light to taxi. And we can put the auto brake to RTO. We can fix the trim to 40.0. That's set. We can go flaps 1 for takeoff. Do a flight control check. You can see them here. Lovely. Excellent. We'll wait for flaps 1 to be set, which it is now done. And with that, we can say, see you later, London Heathrow. Or we can also arm speed brakes or ground spoilers. Parking brake is off. We can do a takeoff config check, which has brought back no errors. So we can get this show on the road. I'm going to use SkyDolly to record, and I'm going to try and use that to get your wing shots. Obviously you would sometimes see me clicking in and out of wing views as we move. I'm going to try really hard not to do that because of the issues that I've been discussing. So I'll try, the keyword here being try, to use SkyDolly to get those recordings for you. The only issue with that's going to be is if they work, which it seemed to work on the first video I'd done, but the issue is I've got to try and do it at the end of a 12-hour flight nearly, so whether it still works then is its own separate thing, I suppose. But what I'll probably do, because this is going to be a fairly long taxi, we're going to the other end of the airport, what I'll do is I will leave you folks. I will leave you folks and I will catch you once we are a bit closer to the end of the runway. Okay, so welcome back. That's us at the end of the runway, or just about there. We're just going to go straight on, so we'll put the landing light on. We'll put the strobe light on as well. I'll do an attempt to turn onto the runway, at least somewhat graciously. Can put the nose light on to take off as well. So seatbelt signs are on, no smokes are on, strobe, everything's on up there. Takeoff config check has been done. And yeah, I think we are just about ready to get this show on the road. Just use those right hand throttles to try and get the aircraft spun round. I'm going to come out of zoom mode and get onto the flight plan there. Bit more just to help us round. You can definitely feel the weight of the aircraft on the ground, as I've said. Bit more throttle, I think. There we go. Okay, so we're on runway 27 right. We're not going to hang around. We've got places to be. People have got business to be doing. So let's go for it. Again, as I said previously, I have no idea what they spool the engines to. So I'm going to 50 and flex. Man, flex, SRS and runway. There's 80. 100. V1. And rotate. Gently back on the stick. Up she comes. Positive rate, gears coming up. Nav. Can certainly see how the aircraft is heavier than it was on the first flight we done in it. We'll keep on the manual flying for the moment. Just looking for climb thrust. Climb thrust is in. Over to the left. Flies beautifully. Feels like a big heavy build. If that flap's coming up. We're going open climb. Yeah, flies beautifully. Can certainly see how much heavier we are compared to the last flight I done. Try and keep it on the flight director. There we go. Up through the clouds. Yes, it's flying beautifully. I hope there has been some great wing views for you. I hope SkyDolly has worked wonders. You can hear the lack of faith I have, but SkyDolly is generally okay. It can set standard pressure once, twice, 3 times. And with that, autopilot 1 is on. And we are on our way. We'll take the nose light off. Ground spoilers can be disarmed. We'll wait for 10,000 to get the landing lights off and the seatbelt signs off. We can go all the way up to 340, like so. As I say, open climbing that. Yeah. We are on the way. It's nice to be doing a long haul in a proper heavy. Don't get me wrong, the 777 is also a very big and heavy aircraft, but nothing quite compares to a 4-engine beast such as the A380. Also can't wait for any 747 to be released. Okay, so there is 10,000, landing lights off, runway turn-offs off, seatbelt signs to auto, and we're on the cruise. I can confirm, now that we're in the sky, we are down to 19 gigabytes of VRAM. Let me switch view, because we should get away with it now. Yeah, we've only jumped up about half a gig, so we should be able to switch views without too much worry. These are my first wing views. I hope SkyDolly has done us proud. Yeah, all looking good, and it is all fun. So it reckons we are into LAX at 23:43. I just want to check. I've obviously got. I should have hit chrono earlier. My bad. I just want to check the time in the sim is obviously different from the time in real life because I want it to be daylight. Because I can't see anything at night in the sim. So 1342, and it's expecting us at 2343. So yeah, not too bad at all. Not too shabby. But yeah, anyway, I will stop rambling and just wasting your time. I don't know if there's going to be cruise shots for the obvious issues I've already discussed. I don't want the sim to crash again, so I will. We'll see about that. But anyway, though, if there is, enjoy them. If not, I will see you on the approach down into Los Angeles. See you then. Good morning. Welcome back to the flight deck. As you can see, still cruising at 340. It is the next day for me. The aircraft seems to have flown fine through the night, or through the day in the sim. So just bringing you back very briefly. Still got a little bit to go. We're about 40 miles from top of descent, but we do have some destination data to put in. So we can go to not destination, we can go to performance, we can go to approach. Now, we were planning for 2-4 right. They are still landing on 2-4 right in real life right now, although the winds are maybe not totally favourable for that. It's only 4 knots, so we're just going to stick with it as it is. So it's 050 at the moment at 4 knots, so it's not big. But yeah, as I say, they're still using 2-4 at the moment, so we're just going to stick with it if they're using it in real life. Temperature is 14 degrees Celsius and the pressure is 1015 hectopascals. Now, is it going to let me put in the inches of mercury, since that is what they would use over here? It is, that's fine. So it's 29 or 9 or 8 on inches of mercury, since we are going to America. So we can just flick that over to inches as well, just so it's there. I will deal with the standby on the approach. In terms of the arrival, transition level obviously in America is 180. That is fine. The only other thing I'm going to check is, let me have a look, is I just want to check, we're going into 2-4 right, just want to get the minimums, which are, if we're not doing a Cat 3, which we're not, they are 322, so we can put that in the barrel. 322. Set, as I said, transition level is 180, and I believe that will do us for now. And yeah, we are just shy of 40 miles now to top of descent, so we will be heading down just shortly. Look at the reflection on the windows. Yeah, we'll be heading down just shortly, and yeah, I will see you a little bit further down on the approach into LAX. Okay, I thought I would quickly bring you back just to save potential confusion on the way down. Literally as I finished putting in all the information there, they have just switched runway at LAX. They're now using 06 right for arrivals, which does make sense given the wind, so I have just put that in. It is a bit of a mess because, again, you would probably be vectored in real life, so I've just tried to make one that works. So you'll see here, we come in this way and then come down and around over the sea, I believe, or the ocean. And yeah, so just in case things got a little bit confusing, that is what's happened. So yeah, we're just about to hit top of descent, so I'll be activating that just shortly, and we'll be on the descent down into LAX. See you a little bit further down. Hello and welcome back. We are now officially in the descent into Los Angeles. Just checking out the wing views before we run into the VRAM issues. I have set SkyDolly to record from now, so I am hoping that you watching this video will get plenty of wing views on the approach, depending on how I decide to edit said approach. But yeah, I'm hoping you will get plenty. Just going to sit in the wing view. We've got a right turn coming up, so I just thought we will sit on the wing view until we hit that right turn. Speaking of, there it comes. So yeah, we did have to change the runway last minute to 06 right rather than 24 right, but it's okay, it is what it is. If the terrain in general and the ground in general doesn't look fantastic, I will put that down to sorry, I was just closing something on another window there. Yeah, I will put that down to the fact I've had to turn the terrain level of detail right down for all the issues I've already previously mentioned. So I hope we don't crash into a mountain with how I've done this. I feel like that is what we have the potential to do here. Maybe that is why we have leveled off at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me just have a look at the flight plan. So it reckons we'll be down to 7,000. So it's going to take us 12 minutes to do that descent. Okay, that'll probably be why. Probably so we don't crash into the side of one of these mountains. Again, I've had previous for crashing planes in the sim. Mainly when I leave them unattended, to be fair, and my control stuff decides to start pressing buttons that I haven't asked it to. Look at that sunset, that's incredible. This is really going to test the aircraft landing into LAX. Don't get me wrong, London is probably just the same, to be fair, so we're really testing it to see if it's going to manage. So yeah, I've potentially brought you back too early, but who cares? Welcome. If you haven't heard me ramble before, now you're about to learn. Now, is that I think that's Ontario, I think. My horrendous Scottish accent probably is absolutely butchering the pronunciation of that. But hey, that's what we live for. Look at that sunset, that is... This has got to be a screenshot, surely. I mean, it's not the most, like, visually stunning screenshot I've ever taken, it's just the sun looks amazing. So the autogen is loading down there and we're doing okay. The frame rate has never been the issue. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's not as smooth as it would be if we were flying into somewhere remote, but the frame rate has never been the issue. The issue has always just been, oh my god, we've ran out of VRAM again. This is the first aircraft where I've had the kind of stuttering issue that I was talking about earlier, and in fact I was actually reading on the forums and Reddit and things like that it's a frame generation issue as far as I'm aware. It's not a frame generation issue. I've had the pleasure of experiencing up until now. But I think from what I've briefly read, it's something to do with the frame generation getting out of sync with the frames on screen when you're using so much VRAM and it's starting to use shared memory with your system RAM. It's something to do with it along those lines. I don't really know. I'm not technical enough to fully know, but that's what I was able to find out. But yeah, the fix does seem to basically be to reload a setting or go from full screen mode to windowed mode. Basically just whatever suits, whatever works at the time. I'm not going to change it to windowed mode because I feel like that will muck up the recording. So if it does happen, I am just going to change a setting and pray to the gods that we do not crash, because if the sim crashes now, I think I'll cry. Which is why I'm really not going to do too many wing views while we're flying. I will try to do it with SkyDolly after, but at least if the sim crashes while I'm trying to get wing views on SkyDolly, I don't have to cry quite as much, because at least we've managed to get the full flight in and recorded. It's a little bit easier to just load SkyDolly up and get views from the wing than it is to reload a flight and get back to exactly where we were here. It kind of kills the immersion, as they say. So yeah, this is going to be a nice slow descent where you're getting to listen to me ramble on for hours and hours. As always on these videos, I do try to put the chapters at the bottom so you can skip through the videos if you don't want to watch the full descent, if you only want to watch the final approach or whatever. Or if you do want to watch it all, I appreciate if you do. That's why I upload the hours, or the hour roughly length of videos, if you want to watch the full. I try to keep it interesting with the bits that I do upload. You know, like even I don't upload cruise, obviously. You know, I take a couple of cinematic cruise shots with some music in the background for maybe a minute, 2 minutes, just to keep it nice. And I don't know if entertaining is a word, but just to keep you interested, I suppose. This one might not be. I've probably brought you back a little bit too earlier. I didn't realise that the descent would be slower to prevent us crashing into a mountain, although it does obviously make sense. But yeah, if you have been new to the channel recently, welcome. I appreciate you. Make sure that you are subscribed, because there is going to be plenty of videos coming out on everything. The A380, the 737, the 737 MAX, the 777, Flight Sim 2024 when it comes out. I mean, that's less than a month now. That's we're into November now, so there is plenty to come. Yeah, we're just going to roll with it and see where it takes us. But yeah, if you aren't subscribed, make sure to. There's all that to come and more. You'll know yourself, we're still waiting on the 757 from Bluebird. We're waiting on a decent A330. I refuse to buy the Aerosoft one from the reviews and things I've read. I refuse to buy it. I'm not spending my money on it. So we're still waiting for a decent A330. I'd love a decent A340 as well. I know they're a rare bird in the sky these days, but I would still like to see one. Obviously PMDG, we're still waiting for their 747. I imagine that will be a significant amount of time before we see that though. But alas, we are still waiting for it. And so yeah, there is lots to come, both in terms of launches into the sim and on my channel, because I will do my best to cover everything I can. I have been trying to upload a variety, from obviously the full flight videos, which are about an hour long, to some unedited, or not unedited, but like some, you know, no commentary, just raw flight sim videos of departures or arrivals from the wing view or outside views. And I've been uploading some shots as well, because I know a lot of people scroll through shots. That's how a lot of people find new creators these days. So I've been uploading some shots, just I guess little teasers as to what you can see in the videos. Sometimes I put little exclusives on there, like there was a 777 departure from Seattle that I put on there the other day, because that was going to be a full flight video that never came to anything, because I just wasn't happy with how the video was turning out, with things like lag and my flying ability slash lack of skill. Just wasn't particularly happy with it, so you'll never see the full flight from that. But I've uploaded the departure onto the shots just as a, not necessarily as an exclusive, but just as a, there's nothing in it that warrants a full video, but there's a nice 30-second departure from Seattle, which I uploaded. Just going to bring a little tad of speed brake out just to help the aircraft slow here. It's not going to need it, because again we're not going to be descending fast. So I'll bring them back in. So as you can see, we are through 10,000 now, so landing lights can come on. We can put the runway tunnels and the camera on. I'd be curious to see how that looks in a future update. Seatbelt signs are on. See that lag. Auto brake for this, we can go, I want to go auto brake low. That should be plenty. Yeah, famous last words. So auto brake low is on, landing lights are on, and that is fine. Let's see, can we see LA? There is LAX. The good thing about the fly-by-wire is like it lets you like clip through the aircraft to get outside, which a lot of the aircraft, I don't know why, don't. So that will help with getting views, I suppose, because I think the issue is when you click through the camera views, it's spinning through the aircraft so quick that it's loading textures that it maybe wouldn't have to load, and that is, I think, ultimately causing the VRAM issue, or if not causing it, a part of it. I feel like all I've been on about this video is VRAM, but it's the main thing affecting my sim just now. So don't get me wrong, I'm very lucky to be playing the game in 4K 60 FPS with the system I've got. I've worked really hard in the past few years to get the system I've had. Don't get me wrong on that front, it's my pride and joy. It's just a shame that it's a VRAM issue, because the actual GPU usage, like if I go over to my task manager on the other screen, in terms of overall GPU usage right now, we are at 27% GPU usage. But that is despite the fact that VRAM, we are maxed out 22 gigabytes according to Task Manager, so take it with a pinch of salt. But according to Task Manager, we're using 22 gigabytes of VRAM, and we're using 4 gigabytes of shared system RAM. So take from that what you will. Are we actually GPU limited, or are we just solely VRAM limited and nothing else? I mean, obviously you'll know that MSFS is CPU limited a lot of the time. According to my, again, task manager is, I don't know what the word does, but take it with a pinch of salt anyway. According to it, we're using 19% of the CPU, so I've got a 7950 X3D. According to, yeah, as I say, according to this, we're using 19%. The core parking does work if you know anything about the ins and outs of the CPUs and things like that. The core parking on my 7950 X3D works fine for flight sim, so out of the 16 cores, I've only got the 8 cores with the 3DV cache that are on, the rest are parked, so that is working fine. I had someone personally message me the other day to say that that could be an issue with stutters and things like that, as if my core parking on the 7950 is not working, but the core parking is working fine, the rest of the cores are parked. It's only the first CCD that's getting used, so the one with the 3DV cache, so not an issue. But as usual, it's not utilising, even the 8 cores that it can utilise, it's not utilising that great. Core 3 and 4 are getting used at probably roughly, I would say, 75% or so. The rest of the cores max 50%, some of them are down to 25%, 20%. So it's, again, that's an MSFS issue that I'm hoping will be, I don't think it will be resolved in 2024. Like, I can't think of any games that are able to utilise more than 4-6 cores, and I don't think 2024 will be different. Do I think it will be better? Yes, but do I think it will be a major overhaul that I think some people are expecting. No, I don't. If it is, then it would be a game changer. But I don't think it will, and my brief experience with the alpha tells me that I don't think it will, and I know that was in the early builds, but my experience with the alpha makes me think that it probably, as I say, won't be a major overhaul. It might be better, but not a major overhaul. But alas, we will see. Maybe that's something we can test out once we get our hands on the new sim. So we're making our left turn, I guess, onto an extended base leg here, you could say. This is why I do not bring you back so early, because you have just listened to me ramble. Now, any single time that I fly to LA in the sim, which admittedly is not a lot, I look out the window and go, there's GTA 5, because it's just, every time I see LA, GTA 5, I just see GTA 5 on the map. Now don't get me wrong, I know this is like behind the hills, I guess, I don't know, just everything about it just screams GTA 5, so yeah, one of those ones. So just going through 7,000, I think that's an altitude restriction of 6,000 at Waker. But that's fine, we're getting there now. I'm just going to arm the landing system, just so it's there for us. Just going to double check the weather to make sure it's not changed. So it has changed. Of course the wind is now 0 at 0. So we probably could have just went for it on the runway we're on, but it's fine. I'm just going to update that. 0 at 0. We are 13 degrees Celsius now, so I'll just edit that. And the QNH is 299 or 7 now, so we can change that down one. There we go, 2997. There we go, 2997. Lovely. This is a wonderful approach. I really hope the HDR is recording on this, because I mean that looks stunning. I need to screenshot that because that looks stunning. Right, do we risk it for the wing view? Let's risk it. Oh my goodness, look at that. Right, we've risked it. That looks incredible. I'm sorry, that looks absolutely incredible. Look at the glow. Oh. Try not to crash the sim. That looks incredible. Oh. Might add that screenshot to Volanta. I think that's Volanta, lovely. If you're listening to me ramble at this point, it's probably worth me mentioning that you can add me on Volanta if you wish. It's Chris X20. It's always in the description, but if you're listening now, then you must not mind listening to me, so then I suppose you might want to add me on there. But yeah, wow, that was good. It looks stunning. I kind of wish we were arriving into it. Now the thing with SkyDolly is you can set it up to match the time. So I'm just going to, you can set it up so that when you play the recording it matches the time. The issue with that is I found it a little bit glitchy. I have found it a little bit glitchy on the old, with the time it has issues, so I set it not to do that. But what that does mean is that I have to manually set the time and try and manually set the weather to match what it was when we were landing. That's why in a lot of like my videos the weather doesn't quite match what it was when I filmed or recorded the approach. You'll mostly notice it when I do the departure, because I don't record the departure wing views until after we've landed and stop recording of the full flight, because it's to re-record the departure right after departure would mean resetting the plane, and I think it would, I know for a fact it would cause an unholy amount of issues that I would rather just do it at the end. But it means that the weather's usually different, and I can try my hardest to use Active Sky to set it correctly, but with the best intent in the world, it's not very good at getting the weather to match, which is fine, it is what it is. But again, that is the reason. So there we go, we're just on to the, I guess still the base leg, but we're going to arm the speed brake, or ground spoilers, sorry, we're in the Airbus. Ground spoilers are armed, auto brake is low. This approach is keeping us nice and slow, so there's no need to rush and do anything. I'm sorry to keep going on about it, but it looks incredible. Like, look at that sky. Look at that sky. I mean, I don't usually screenshot in the flight deck, but like, I feel like I've got no choice but to screenshot this because it looks so good. Now, I think we're probably going to have quite a laggy approach. Just judging by the way the camera's moving, it's kind of a little bit stuttery, but that could be it loading in the auto-gen and the scenery and things like that. So again, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. We can arm the localizer. We'll bring the range into 10 miles. You can see we're 13 DME. No need to get flaps out or anything yet because we're doing absolutely fine. Don't need to slow this down any more than we already have. You can see it's trying to stay with the glide slope. There's the localizer, so we can put approach on. We've got the glide slope, Cat 3, autopilot 2 on. Thank you Active Sky for loading some clouds in now. It was a great time for you to do that. How realistic. Fucking hell, man. Why do you do this to me? I have literally turned that setting off not to do it, like, when we're on approach. Anyway, we will go flaps 1 and we'll try and look at it from the wing. Here we go. Look how many clouds it's just loaded in. That is so frustrating. Stupid thing. Now, aircraft's not slowing down. If anything, we're getting faster. So we're just going to bring some speed brake out. The flaps 2 limit is 220, so we're going to go flaps 2.
2,500.
Speed brake back in. Ground spoilers are armed again. Auto brake's low, landing lights are on. We can put the nose light on for it coming down as well. $60 DME now. With that, I believe we will go gear down, flaps 3. Waiting for the green lights. Nose gears down. That's how many? That is 4, 5 greens. Lovely. And at 4.5 DME we can go flaps full. That looks like flaps full is set. And we are on the approach. Here we go. So, let's get rid of autopilot, shall we? Autopilot's out. I have the aircraft. Here we go. Let's not make an arse of this. So it's a little bit stuttery, which I've already realised is making this a little bit more difficult than I would have hoped, but hopefully that calms down as we get closer to the ground. Nice and smooth. You'll see we've actually got a tailwind, so all of that change in runway was for absolutely no reason, but you know, at least we're doing it like they're doing it in real life. A little bit high. Try and correct. That's corrected. 2 reds, 2 whites, we're all good. Bring the nose up just a little bit, there we go. A little bit over to the left still, trying to correct that.
$400, 100 above.
Gets really heavy to control as you get down. We're landing.
$50, 40, 30, 20.
Idle the
10,
throttles.
5.
And we're down. Reverse the screen. There's 60, auto brake off.
Auto brake off.
Welcome to LAX, where we're going to try and take this turn here. Excellent work. Excellent. Now we are looking for gate 25. No, we're not. We're looking for gate 152, I think it is. I think it's down here. So we're going to take this turn here. We're going to get the APU started. Landing lights can come off, turn offs can come off, taxi on. Now let me just double check what runway I think it is. 152 I believe, which is not here by the looks of it. So I'm just going to have a little nosy to see where 152 actually is. Let's get the charts up on that other screen. 152. Right, where are we? No, I believe this should be where 152 is. We're just going to keep rolling down and see if we can find our terminal. It's just going to stop SkyDolly. If I remember where it is. Where is it? There, it's there. There we go, that's SkyDolly. Hopefully that's worked. Oh yeah, oh we are in the right place. There's 152 there. Excellent. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Let's just restart GSX, because that's not correct. Yeah, so there's gate 150, we're 152. 152 is where the real aircraft part, so we departed from the rail gate and we're going to end on the rail gate. Can't go wrong with that, can you? APU available, APU bleed can come on. Just going to take the taxi light off so we do not blind the ground crew. Let's see if GSX... No, I have no idea why it thinks we are pushing back, so we're just going to ignore GSX. This is the iniBuilds LAX, for anyone wondering. It's a shame that MSFS can't use any more than one gate, like Jetway, but again, it is what it is. Look at that sky, it is incredible that. Now I have no idea where we're going to stop because we have no GSX. So I'm kind of just going to, oh no, well we have a safe dock. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Let's use that then, shall we? Right, once is over to the left a bit. Once is a bit more to the left. There we go. Let's see. Don't slide the keyboard away. And of course I was far too heavy on the rudder. There we go. There's 10, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slam the brakes on. There we go. That's how to do it. We can put the parking brake on, and APU is on, so we will kill all of the... I don't know why it thinks that. I just realised I didn't actually bring in any of the speed brakes or anything, but that's okay. Beacon can come, or strobes. Never brought the strobes off either. See, I always forget something, but it is what it is. That's why we're the chilled simming channel and not real pilots. The seatbelt signs can come off. No mobile signs can come off, I suppose. And is GSX going... Oh, Christ. Is GSX going to... Yeah, no, GSX doesn't have a clue. Welcome. Now, I don't know if this isn't true or not, but like, I think sometimes they leave the flaps down, and I remember reading it a long time ago. There is a reason they sometimes do it. I can't remember what the reason is. I can almost be certain that there isn't a reason to do it right now, probably, but we're just going to assume there is. Makes it easier for when I need to do the SkyDolly recordings. But yeah, welcome to LAX. That was a lovely flight in the... FBW A380. And yeah, if, as always, you've got anywhere you would like me to take the aircraft, or any aircraft for that matter, but we're obviously focusing on the A380 just now, then let me know. I need to get yet another screenshot because it looks incredible. There we go. Yeah, but if you do have anywhere you would like me to take any aircraft, but at the moment, obviously specifically A380, then you can let me know. But yeah, I hope there is plenty of wing views, and if not, I do apologise. You know the reasons why there is not. But yeah, I just want to thank you very much for watching, and if you have stayed all the way to the end, I used to put the landing rate on the video for you to see. I don't do that anymore because it's not all about the landing rate, and I'm not really that bothered. But for those of you that have stuck to the end all the way here, the landing rate was a horrendous -296. But we're in the A380, so realistically that probably felt like butter. But yeah, I will stop rambling, folks. As always, if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and leave a comment if you wish. But yeah, without me rambling anymore, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and cheerio.